So, the man who built the Fox News media empire, Roger Ailes, died this morning. Now, I never thought he could be moved from Fox News, let alone die, because he was giant. He was bigger than life in every way, except when you sat down with him as a friend, and then he became just your size. And that's small when he was sitting with me. I remember the first time Roger called me to his office while I was in New York City for a TV hit, and I've never been so nervous in my entire life as to get the call. Roger Ailes wants you in his office right now. I walked in his office and he thanked me for taking the time to come. He walked around his great big desk to join me in the little sitting area that was over on the side, and I stood around and marveled at the trophies on his wall. He had photos, magazine covers, gifts from people who had likely sat exactly in the chair where I was sitting in that moment. World leaders and beyond. His first words floored me, though. He said, "Gina, I brought you here because you're different. I'm fascinated with you and the way you live your words on television." I started to object because it was like a compliment that felt too big for me, but his hand went up to silence me, and he continued to explain to me what he found unique about me and my work, and the reason why he wanted me to stay in the business and to make it my career. So anyone who's ever had the privilege of listening to the wisdom of the greatest media mind of all time knows that you drink in every word and every gesture, but the biggest surprise to me was how quickly I felt like I was in the home of a close friend. There was an inexplicable warmth there, an immediate intimacy that made me feel far more comfortable than I should have in the boss of bosses office. So we talked about his wife and son, our families, our dogs, our dreams, our plans, how media had changed. Oh, he was so wise on that, and the state of our country and how we could fix it. And he asked me the best questions I'd ever heard in my entire life, and I did my best to answer them without sounding completely stunned by the brilliance of his mere questions, because I'm the one who's a trained therapist, and I'm the one who's supposed to know the art of asking questions, but oh, how much I learned that day. I opened up to him like he was a trusted friend, a loving father, or maybe even a counselor, dare I say. We laughed and we teared up when we spoke about our passion to change this country and the world, and we connected on a level that words really still fail me when I try to describe. The trust was immediate and deep, and he seemed in no hurry at all to end this meeting, but I kept feeling the urgency that he must have something more important to do, somebody more important to talk to than me, and people kept calling and walking in, and he kept shooing them away, shooing them away to talk to me. And I thought, why? I wanted to sit and tap him forever, this gigantic media brain, but I didn't want to monopolize him. And there's so much more, and someday I will release a book on that, but this is not that day. This is the day that I want to remember my friend that I met that fateful day, who changed my life forever. Very few know how well I knew Roger, very few. I wanted to keep it private because it felt sacred to me in some certain way. But he deserves for those voices of those to whom he gave so much to sing in a chorus of welcome home for him today. And his precious wife and his son deserve to know his positive impact on the time they sacrificed with him while he was out there changing the lives of people like me. As my friend Sean Hannity said this morning, you don't get another Roger Ailes in your life. Godspeed, Roger. I won't ever forget you. And the confidence you had in me and in my work, it will carry on every day in my work to become whatever it was you saw in me that was so special that very first time you called me up to your office and changed the course of my life. My love to his wife and family. Shame on the media who are not giving them this day. This is their day. The day that somebody dies is the day that belongs to that family. Roger Ailes is dead. You can't hurt him, all right? He won, he lost, he did good, he did bad, he was a sinner, just like we all are, and he's moved on. This is about his family and his friends and their mourning period. And any of you who are disrespecting that, delegitimize yourselves in that effort, because this is about people who are wholly innocent. And for all of those who want to comment on what he did or didn't do, I'm conflicted, not gonna lie. But I'm gonna tell you, if you're gonna listen to people with zero evidence, not even knowing the man, perhaps you should also listen to other people who did know the man and the good parts of the complex genius. The world will never be the same without you, Roger Ailes.